you see these pictures of murals that Louis took, and they're hanging up there, and they're beautiful, right? Those are what are called reproductions. That's not the original mural, right? He didn't go down and rip them out of Balmy Alley. He made a copy and displayed them in his business, right? So copyrights are about who has the right to copy an original work of art and display it and put it on merchandise or whatever, right? It's about the reproduction of original works of art. Copyright doesn't apply to architecture, it doesn't apply to your feed or a portrait of you, although the photographer has rights in the photograph that he takes. It's in the Constitution of the United States that original creative people have the right to use their own artwork, to reproduce their own artwork, and to stop others from doing it. It's just absolute, no, it doesn't require money to be made, although it's more serious if money is being made. You can take photos and take it into your house for your personal use, yeah. But let's say that a business isn't selling it, but they make a bunch of postcards and hand them out.
Yeah.
Right? So they're not selling it, but they're making an offer. So personal use in your home, in your photo album,
on your T-shirt,
in your bakery.
Well, no, that's Louis got permission from the artists to do this, right?
So how I, for example, if I take a picture of a mirror and I put it on Facebook, the image, and then someone else took it or shared it, and they sell it, who's gonna be responsible for that?
The person that sold it.
Not me.
No, because you just showed it on your personal Facebook page, unless you say, hey, do you guys want to buy this image?
Oops.
Right? So there are things called photo stock shops, like Getty, and they sell images, and there's lots of photographers who've put pictures of murals for sale, right? On Getty and these other photos. So if you want a photograph, you download it, you pay for it. That's not okay. But there's another part of copyright law that protects the original work, right? The mural on the wall, this mural right here, right? That's protected. The original is protected from defacement. Or being painted over, whitewashed.
But does the artist have to copyright it? Have it copyrighted?
Well, actually, for the VARA rights, the Federal Visual Artists' Rights Act, which protect the original, no, it doesn't have to be registered. For other instances, if they want to file a lawsuit, then the artist does have to have their copyrights registered. Okay? So it always makes sense to register the copyrights.
And what does that cost?
It's about $65 if you do it yourself.
Is that like at City Hall?
No, it's at the Federal Copyright Office. Yeah, and you can do it online. It's a little bit, sometimes maybe the first time you do it, you might want to have a lawyer help you, so you know how to answer the questions.
So we call Brooke Oliver.
But the main thing is to look on the federal copyright website, usco.org.gov. So you can't make T-shirts for sale, you can't make tote bags, you can't, right? But the biggest problems that happen to artists with their copyrights are when somebody just takes it and uses it in their business, and they're making, print on demand. Call me and I'll make you just order this T-shirt, and boom, the order goes to China, and the shirt is shipped out in 24 hours, right? Or the tote bag is shipped out. So when the copyrights are registered, we can send cease and desist letters saying, stop, you can't do that. Pay the artist all the money that you've made, give us an accounting. You know, if it's registered, then, I mean, we can send a cease and desist letter and say, stop doing that, and tell us how much money you made and how many copies you sold and all that kind of thing. So that's what happens a lot on Facebook, is that, not like your example, but where somebody has a small business and they're just selling the stuff, right? I've had situations come out where a client's artwork was printed onto fabric in China, and a big restaurant chain made their aprons for 100 different franchises out of that fabric.
Oh my goodness.
Right. Now that's worth some money to try to stop that, right? But it's super important that the copyrights be registered before that infringement happens. You can do it later, but it's not going to make that much difference if the infringement happens. It's like the cow's already out of the barn. So you want to be registering your copyrights early. So, and it's usually easy to get permission from the artists, right? That's not, so when they're using those logos, right? Like especially SF Giants,
Oh, yeah.
you see all that?
Yeah.
Or the UFW Black Eagle,
Yes,
right? When they're knocking that off. I'm the intellectual property lawyer for the United Farm Workers Union, and I have been for almost 30 years. So that Black Eagle is protected, so is Si Se Puede. But, so those are trademarks, right? Which is a little bit different than copyrights. I won't spend a lot of time on the difference. Like if you go out and you take a picture of the Golden Gate Bridge, the bridge isn't protected by trademark or copyright. You can use your photograph. But if you go and take somebody else's photograph, then that photographer has rights. Okay, so photographers have copyrights too. So, and some of the government logos, you know, they don't really fuss about that. But, you know, Muni with all these like knockoffs, they might. And the San Francisco Giants, all the baseball teams and all the sports teams are really aggressive, right? Facebook has what are called terms of use, right? That's, I mean, I don't know if that's a lie, it's an urban myth, right? Facebook can't use your artwork or pictures that you post for anything. But in the terms of use, it says exactly what you can use it for, right? They can use it to respond to lawfully issued subpoenas. They can use it to like track what Facebook is doing and what's happening with Facebook, and what kinds of things are popular and what kinds of things aren't popular. But they can't go out and make their own fine art prints or, you know, reproduce a mural in full scale. They can't copy it and make money from the copies that they're selling. Does that, right? So just for their own internal record keeping purposes, they can use it, but not for creating merchandise.
I left radio. I had a 2-hour talk show for 12 years.
That's a really good question. And did you make the recordings of the show before, or did you do it live?
Both. Sometimes I'm in Mexico and I record somebody, or I'll have interviews, live interviews.
Yeah. So copyright belongs to people who like lock it down into some kind of media, right? Like if you take a photograph and you put it into the photograph. If you take something and you write it out, you know, if you compose a song and you write out the musical letters to the song, right? Or the words to the song. Whatever you write down, whatever you put. So if the radio station is recording it, then the radio station gets the copyrights. Like if you're just doing improvisational dance and somebody's doing a video of that, then the videographer gets it. If you're doing improvisational music, then whoever records it has the copyrights in that recording, even if you composed it. Yeah, so you have to be careful with your creative stuff to register the copyrights and make sure that you're the ones who wrote it down, you're the one who took the video, or you hire the videographer and you pay them, and as part of the agreement for paying them, they transfer the copyrights in their video back to you, or they transfer the recording back to you. Right, so you hire them, it's a work made for hire agreement, they transfer the copyrights to you. Yeah, a lot of times people get messed up on these collaborations because it's all good, when you're making it, and then
Who knows what happens?
who knows what happens
Yeah,
later.
yeah.
We've all noticed that sometimes groups fall apart. Right?
If
They
they-
don't return what you posted, but you own the thing that you posted, right? You post a copy on Facebook. They don't have to return anything to you.
Okay.
But that's like part of their terms of use. I mean, can you imagine having to return 50 billion images a day?
In return for $50 billion a day.
Right? In return for, they're not gonna do that. They don't have to do that. So basically, whatever's in their terms of use, if you use Facebook, then their terms of use apply. You can't put that thing on your Facebook page that goes around periodically. It says, I hereby say Facebook can't use my stuff. That means nothing. Zero.
Yeah, I
Nothing.
saw that people have to sign this.
Because when you sign up for Facebook, you agree to their end user
Rules.
license agreement, and the end user license agreement says, if we need to respond to a subpoena, we can respond to a subpoena and make copies. If we need to evaluate what's happening on our platform, we can do that. If you can still recognize the poem in the AI music version, then it's not just AI, it is somebody used an AI tool to do that, right? It's like, let's say you write your poem, right?
Yeah.
And then somebody goes and paints it on a wall, right? It's a different tool than you use, but they didn't have the right to copy it, right? So AI is a tool. It's like a screwdriver, or, it's just a little bit of code. And if he uses that and keeps your poem intact, the guy that did that infringed your copyrights. He's not allowed to do that. Now, maybe he's fine. Maybe it's okay for him to make the music, right? Because you didn't make the music. He's not copying your music, right?
They made music with my letter.
Yeah, with your words.
My word.
Yeah.
I initiated the poem. I am the owner of the poem. But
People
AI
wonder,
made a music.
And what do you want from him? What do you want from him? Do you want to stop him, or do you want a share of his profits?
No, he made it for himself.
He made it, yeah.
It's
Oh,
his.
you made it yourself.
Two
Yeah.
people work on that. Two people.
pero ahora, ¿qué quiere él?
Two people work on that.
Pues,
He
¿tiene
write the
derecho
poem.
o quién
The
tiene
other
derecho?
guy made music.
Right, but it was with permission, right?
Si quiere parar.
Con permiso, con el otro hombre, la obra que tiene música y sus palabras son una colaboración y con permiso de usted.
No por ahora. Por ahora están en paz. Porque no se está generando dinero. El problema es si él va a generar dinero y qué va a pasar con la parte de la otra persona que hizo el AI. Ahorita no hay problema porque nadie está, ¿verdad?
Nadie estaba escuchando, ¿verdad?
So he is the original poet, the other guy AI did.
So
And
he
now-
wants to
But he
copyright
worked
his
together
words.
with
Yeah.
the AI guy.
So doesn't he
Well,
need to copyright his words?
It's his poem though.
Right. Necesita registrar sus derechos en el website de United States Copyright Office.
Yeah.
We should do-
Because I work with him together, with another guy. But, he showed the poem to my friend.
Uh-huh.
The next week, my friend came with the song. He don't give you permission. But he liked it.
Right.
He liked the song.
Oh, I see. He
But
just
this is
did it. He
Yeah,
just did
he
it.
did it without permission. But I don't know what's going on.
Escriba una carta a ese otro hombre y dice que no puede usar sus palabras en el música sin su permiso y sin un contrato sobre quién va a ganar el dinero y necesitan compartir cada pedazo de dinero que ganan. Pero porque conocen el nombre es importante para empezar con una carta a él.
Una carta que puso el AI.
Ajá, mira, esas son mis palabras, mi poesía, y tú convertirlos a una música y no puede usar su canta o con mis palabras sin permiso. Los derechos en las palabras son míos, no pueden usarlo sin un contrato entre nosotros que podemos compartir cualquier dinero que ganamos de esa colaboración.
Yeah, signed and dated.
Signed and dated. It helps to have a fancy lawyer contract, but you don't have to have that. You can write a contract on a napkin.
Right.
And it still counts on that
As long as it's signed by both parties.
Signed and dated by both parties, and it's clear what it's about, what the exchange is, right? I mean, better to put it on a piece of paper.
Yeah.
No, first you have to register your copyrights, right? Then you have to choose your battles. Is it something where somebody's making a lot of money, right? Is it, is it the kid down the street?
Yeah.
But choose your battles, like where somebody is making fabric and it's being used in aprons in a franchise all over the country, that's a battle worth fighting, right?
How about people on the street? If I take a picture of people on the street and I just wanna put a picture and make money on that, like, if I go to a city and I start taking pictures of people in public,
Uh-huh.
that's, how that affect?
Okay, so that's what's called the rights of publicity, right? Privacy and publicity. And people who are walking on the street are out in public. They don't have much of a private right, right? So people taking just pictures of people, like we saw the exhibit down at Acción Latina with all the pictures of people in it. That's, if they're out in public and that's pretty much okay. That's why the paparazzi get to take pictures of famous people all the time without getting stopped. Right, because they don't have any expectation of privacy.
Unless it's you, if you go in there and see it's your picture in there.
Right, you might get upset,
Yeah.
right? If Bank of America is using your picture to advertise its products, that's a different thing, right? So that's what I'm saying, you have to choose your battles. And then, so
There has to be
yes,
money
it's
there.
always there has to be some money there, And, you know, you can also have your own, you can always write to the platforms, right? Facebook, TikTok, you know, all of the other social media platforms, they have on their terms of use an email. And you can go in there and say, this doesn't belong to this person, I want it taken down. And they will take it down. And that, you know, that sometimes is why if you put up a lot of other people's images and somebody complains, then those images will get taken down, right? If somebody has said you don't have any right, you have a right to go back to that brand owner and say, dude, I do have a right. This is, you know, that's not your picture of Jose Contreras, that's my picture, and this is how I can prove, you know, I mean, you can fight the brand owner, but I've issued 40 or 50,000 takedown notices.
Gave me
Without permission.
Ms. Oliver, I get that part, but how do we educate the kids?
That has to happen in school, like high school or.
Yeah, the copyright class. That's right. I forgot that one.
Yeah, they don't teach that in school. They don't even teach that in art school.
Oh my goodness.
Like, I mean, I've always thought that it would be cool, like if one of the local newspapers, right, Mission Local or Tecolote or something like that, would do a regular column about copyrights, bilingual, you know, or put up
That would be
videos,
good,
right?
especially for the graffiti writers too.
Right. But you know, I mean, any institution with an educational mission could say, hey, we think this is important, we're gonna educate people. That's what I'm saying, like in the public, on the street, in public meetings, that kind of stuff. You know, you're pretty much giving your permission by participating, right? For that to be done. Now, if somebody's trying to make a fortune on it, right, then that's another thing. But yeah, I've never had the time or the bandwidth to do a bunch of little videos and make forms that people can use and that kind of stuff. But there are websites out there where they do make some of these forms available for people.
Because I do see in front of your house, there's a little structure that they painted,
Yeah.
and it says copyright, don't use. And this is coming from the young artist.
Right.
And it seems like with more punch that they'll be respected than if it came from you.
Right. Yeah. That's right. Not necessarily.
Well, yes, in the long run, yeah.
Because
Yeah.
because I'm a litigator that's
Uh-huh.
gone all the way to the United States Supreme Court. So if something comes from me, people sit back on their heels. But it makes, like, in community, right, it does better if people represent themselves. Right, so like, I'm the person you call when your artwork is being used on the fabric of aprons on a franchise all over the world. Like, you know, like I did a case where this guy set up all of these franchises and he used rock and roll icons to decorate all of his franchise businesses. And I got together a coalition of Frank Sinatra and George Harrison and Yoko Ono and Miles Davis and Janis Joplin's estate and Bob Marley's estate, and we shut that business down. And he paid a lot of money, right? But that's what I mean. You go for a big time lawyer when you have something worth a lot of money, and if you have something that is a dispute internal to community, just write it and say, hey, this is mine, stop. Like you would write to the guy who you talked to.
It's like a peace treaty, almost like a peace treaty. That
Yeah.
you're making.
Right. Like, let's shake on it, right? Let's make an arrangement.
Well, all this stuff was getting back to AI, it's just kind of a way of thinking that's rising up, like very nihilistic, like you really don't have control over anything, whether it's images or anything else, and that there's this big, big technology out there which is, eating it all up. I mean, that there's just.
But see, I really don't think that's true.
I'm just wondering.
Right, I really don't think
Okay.
that's true. Because what I'm saying is, usually the big companies that are like ChatGPT or Perplexity or anthropomorphic, whatever it is. These big companies that are training AI models, what comes out of those AI, even if copyright protected artwork goes in to that training process, what gets spit out is not the same as what went in. So part of copyright law is so there's access, you have to prove access, you have to prove substantial similarity. So if the thing that comes out looks entirely different than the thing that went in, you don't meet one of the elements of a copyright
I
claim.
get you, okay. That's very important.
That's a very important distinction.
Yeah.
So the courts are finding no copyright infringement when artwork is being used to train AI models. So, do you guys want to know a little bit more about AI? Okay, it's a hot topic.
I think it's the future.
Yeah, it's the future. AI is happening.
Actually, I have one question about that. Like what you said, now a lot of people is doing music and other stuff with AI. What about the profit? If you use the AI from one company, is the owner of that, or I still own that? Because the software is producing the music, and I'm not sure about that.
That's a really, really, really smart question. Because that's a question that's being dealt with in the courts right now. The courts have said that AI cannot be an author,
Oh, okay.
right, for copyright purposes.
Oh.
So AI and the AI companies cannot own the copyrights in the stuff that AI is used for.
Oh, wow.
But it's hard for the person who put in the prompts to get that AI artwork out there, right? It's hard for them too, because what original thing did they do, right? They wrote a prompt. So you might have copyrights in the prompt, but you don't have copyrights in the output.
So you had to do the algorithm and program and basically.
Right, which nobody does, right? You don't write, nobody writes their own AI. That's $1 billion investment.
So it's kind of tricky.
So it's a little tricky using AI and who gets to claim the copyrights in the output.
How about the agreement? If in the agreement says everything you do with the AI belongs to us, is legal? Saying that AI is not the author of that.
Well, you shouldn't sign that. And
Because sometimes the letters are very small, and
Right.
and thinking on what you just said, that the AI is not the author of that. So
And it's midnight, and you say, yeah, whatever you say, whatever you say.
right, I'm done. I'm tired. Yeah,
Here, yeah, I
Right,
agree.
yeah. So those contracts are valid. Those contracts are valid. They're binding and they're valid. So if you sign away your rights, you signed away your rights. But I don't know that many AI companies are including that in their contracts, right? Contracts are binding. They're really strong.
Before you go even at the end, how do we find copyright law? Because there's always like 8 branches, right? Evidence, all these other ones. But there is, isn't,
There's the United States Copyright Office has a lot of circulars that they publish that are fabulous. They really explain a lot about copyright, and they're pretty much, they're readable. You know, so, and they have all the, it's the US copy, just search US Copyright Office. And make sure you're getting the government one, right? Not somebody impersonating the Copyright Office, because that happens.
Yeah.
Okay, let me tell you another thing. If you mail your photograph or your drawing to yourself, that doesn't give you copyrights in it.
No.
No. All that does is show that you know how to use the mail.
Oh, my.
Well, let me tell you one more story about this place right here. You know this mural that's on the outside of this?
Yeah.
Let me tell you the story of this mural, which is that,
La Virgen outside.
yeah, the Virgen,
La Virgen.
right? Okay, do you remember there used to be a school in San Francisco called McAteer?
Oh, yeah.
On Twin Peaks.
Yeah, in Twin Peaks. And some of the brown and black kids under the tutelage of a guy named Antonio Chavez. So Antonio worked with a bunch of kids up there to create a mural of Cesar Chavez and an águila and all of these Chicano indigenous symbols. It was a beautiful mural. And then they changed McAteer to School of the Arts.
Oh.
And they had a cleanup day where all the white parents of the fancy new kids coming in came and they brought buckets of paint and whitewashed that mural.
Wow.
And so Antonio came by my office and he said, "Can we do something about this?" I said, "Yeah, let's sue the school district." And we got all of the kids who had been originally painting that mural involved, and we held meetings with them and their parents, and we went after the school district. And the school district knew they had violated the law by allowing that to happen. They agreed to a settlement that was good for some money for all of those kids. And part of that agreement was that they would get to paint a new mural, right? So we had to go to court. All of the kids and their moms and dads had to come to court and say, "Yes, I agree to this settlement," in front of the judge. So the kids got a really good civic engagement education about how the legal system could work for them instead of always against them. They were like, "Ooh, wow." And it was cool. It made this bond. And then Antonio came to Louis and said, "Can we do a mural on your building?" And those same kids came and did this mural outside here as part of implementing this settlement against the school district.
When did that happen?
Last question.
Quite a long time ago.
Sorry.
Decades. 15 years ago. Yeah?
Last question. What about if I had a house and I tell a muralist to do a mural in my house? That mural still belongs to the
artist.
The artist, not me.
Right.
I cannot make profit. on that?
You can't, you need to work out with the artist that they waive, right, they release all the VARA rights in that mural. So you can
Okay.
own it, but they still have copyrights in it.
So if they waive it, that means it belongs to me?
Yeah, that you can do what you want to. They say, "You own the mural and I'm waiving my rights in it because it's in your house." Most muralists will sign that, but again, a contract.
Oh, okay.
So now we know why the kids in the public schools are not getting free lunch, because
It was not enough for that. All right.
Thank you.
Thanks, you guys. Just Google Brooke Oliver, Brooke, Oliver, Oliver.